Hitler, the evil 20th century fascist Nazi leader who committed mass genocide and conquered more than half of Europe. How was he able to almost overrun a continent of powerful nations? What was the ultimate cause of his downfall? Hitler was born in the Austrian city of Braunau. He failed out of secondary school at the age of 16 and discontinued his education. Hitler wanted to become an artist, but his father disapproved of Hitler pursuing such a career. But once his father died, Hitler became an artist. He traveled to Vienna. Upon arrival, he began staying in a hostel. In 1907, he applied to join the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts, but was rejected because his paintings showed a lack of appreciation for the human form. In 1914, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. This put many European nations into armed conflict. This conflict is known as World War I. German policy allows citizens to be conscripted into military service. One of those compulsory servicemen was Hitler. This is when Hitler dedicated himself to a nationalist fervor for Germany. In 1918, Hitler's patrol was attacked by British troops. Hitler was severely wounded by a flamethrower. Hitler recovered during World War I, but Germany did not. On November 11, 1918, Germany surrendered, effectively ending World War I. Hitler left the military and entered politics, fueled by a racist belief that Jewish people were behind the defeat and surrender of Germany in the First World War. In 1933, Hitler became the leader of Germany with 32% of the vote. When the Enabling Act became law, Hitler gained dictatorship powers. He also had strong support within the German military. Hitler was interested in revenge. Angry and insulted by the defeat of Germany at the hands of the Allies. However, this would take time. Hitler planned political maneuvers to gain the support of his country and warfare tactics to control the entire world. In 1939, he would be able to act. Before the war began, Germany needed to take precautions to guard itself from the Soviet Union. At that time, the Soviet Union was strong enough to challenge the United States. Hitler worried that the Soviet Union would join the conflict immediately once Germany began to attack in Europe. He held talks with Joseph Stalin and signed a non-aggression pact. The agreement simply stated that Germany and the Soviet Union would not attack each other. Hitler felt that the Soviet threat was neutralized by the non-aggression pact and that America would not directly participate in armed conflict. Hitler decided to attack. In September of 1939, Germany invaded Poland after alleging that Poland had attacked a German radio station. This was not true. Poland fell quickly to the German army. Soon after, France also fell. Germany attacked Britain, but Winston Churchill's defensive tactics held off the German forces. Italy had maintained a position of neutrality, but declared his support for France. After the French were conquered, this was the beginning of the Second World War. A stream of military successes turned Hitler into a fool. In 1941, Hitler attacked the Soviet Union, in violation of the non-aggression treaty. But Hitler didn't count on the Soviets hitting back. Joseph Stalin, the leader of the Soviet Union, was preparing for a fight with Germany since the day the non-aggression treaty was signed. The German army moved towards Stalingrad, Russia reaching the border. They swept away the Soviet defenses. The Soviet Union tried to defend with tanks, but it was of no use. In the first phase, the Soviets suffered heavy casualties. By occupying the border areas of the Baltic and Novgorod, the Nazis surrounded the Soviet Union from 3 sides. The Nazis formed a deadly pocket around the Soviet army. But then winter began. The Soviet army gained the upper hand. German tanks became inoperable in the severe cold. German soldiers had no experience fighting in the bitter Russian winter. Hitler rejected proposals by his generals to withdraw troops from the territory. Instead, Hitler decided to airlift food and supplies to them, but the Soviet army attacked the supply planes. The Soviet army easily defeated the German army, who was struggling without food and water. German generals began demanding that the German army withdraw in contradiction to Hitler's wishes. Hitler dismissed any generals with opposing views and only kept those who always agreed with him. Then they started planning new strategies. Hitler had believed that the Soviet Union would not be able to retaliate. This proved to be a fatal mistake. The Soviet Union began to invade Germany from one side and the Allies from the other. German soldiers began violating Hitler's orders not to retreat as they withdrew from the border. Hitler's loss of support at home was also a setback. On April 29, 1945, and after 11 years of being together in the midst of Germany's defeat, Hitler married Eva Braun. On April 30th, the Soviet Union captured Berlin. The Soviet flag was hoisted above the German parliament Reichstag. Hitler knew it was over. That night, he gave his wife Eva wine poisoned with cyanide. Their marriage lasted less than 40 hours. After killing his wife, Hitler died by a self-inflicted gunshot. This is how the evil Nazi leader fell, who dragged the world into war and committed mass genocide. What caused Hitler's downfall? At the start of World War II, Germany was dominating its enemies, but Hitler's confidence turned into overconfidence. He thought he could defeat the Soviet Union while in the midst of a war with several other nations. He drove them to join forces with America and Britain. If the Soviet Union wasn't provoked, the whole of Europe probably would have fallen into Hitler's hands.